Hello and welcome to another episode of Pod of View. So good to be back. Thank you so much for being here with us, your one-stop shop for dissecting headlines. My name is Faith Onyebujo and I'm going to be your host for this episode. And with me on this special episode, we have...
Kevin Kindness.
I'm Shuge.
I'm Anayo.
Okay, so first we're talking about the shift happening in Nigerian politics, specifically the African Democratic Congress, that's the ADC party. For months now, we've seen, or should I say we've heard, whispers that have turned into loud roars as political heavyweights. We have the likes of the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate in the person of Peter Obi, and of course the former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amechi, amongst many others. They've been linked to this new coalition under the ADC banner. Now, big question here is, in fact, I think this question is on everybody's lips right now concerning this, is can this seemingly or unlikely alliance truly come together into a formidable force that can truly challenge the existing political order that we have come 2027?
Okay.
Why started me?
I'm throwing it open.
Okay, let me first define the coalition. It's a traffic light coalition. That's red, amber, and green. So it doesn't look good right now.
Okay.
But
what do you mean by traffic light? Break that down.
these are different fellows coming from different directions, coalescing, wanting to grab power in 2027. Right? But that was the way APC looked like when they began in 2015.
Exactly.
So you can't take them for granted. You can't write them off now, considering the names who are there. Former President of the Senate David Mark, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai, former governor of two former governors, Osun State and Rivers State. This is as big as they come in politics. And to also think that these guys were with President Tinubu in 2015 when they ousted, if you like, President Goodluck Jonathan. It is time you take them serious. And little wonder why spin doctors of Mr. President are beginning to get unsettled. Talking Bayo Nanuga and all those who spin for Mr. President seem to be unsettled with this coalition. They are not relenting. You can see that quickly they've resolved the issue of chairman at the state level. And someone said, look, this coalition is not going to last for more than 6 months. And with David Mark at the helm of affairs, it's one man who doesn't take no for an answer. You remember, David Mark is associated with the doctrine of necessity. He was the one that unearthed, the conspiracy, so to speak, about Yaradua's health, and made it possible for the former FCT Minister Bala Mohammed to move a motion to get Nigerians to know the truth about Yaradua's health, and brought Jonathan. So I think it's not something that should be written off by those who work for Mr. President. No, Mr. President is doing pretty well, but I hope that he works so hard and try not to be a one-term president. But Tinubu is also a very big political fox. He has a big bag of tricks. He's been there for a long time, so you're not going to take him for a ride. He's a big-time politician, and I'm sure he can match the coalition. But it is good that this is happening. Nigerians should be celebrating. At least before now, we saw the dying of PDP and the emergence of this coalition. And this coalition is a 21st century coalition. It's not like the 2015 coalition. These ones are coming with an AI coalition. You can see the mobilization side of the coalition is handled by a civil society group.
Okay.
Yes, them. So I think as we go ahead, we'll see how they are going to tackle the APC. It is interesting.
All right, so what you would like to react to that?
Yes, for me, I feel coming from what Boala, the spokesperson for Mr. President, calls them internally displaced politicians. Like, seriously, who does that? Well, that's Nigerian politics for you. At the moment, I feel that the APC is not sleeping because this is a big one.
Mhm.
It's a big one. Yes, it is a big one. But then, the persons who constitute this coalition, this party, this movement at this time seeking to wrestle power from the APC, what really are they looking for? Can we step back and ask ourselves? Atiku Abubakar, he's been in that forefront. He's been wanting power. He's been wanting to be president. I mean, and now you've left the PDP where you used to be. You're here now. What makes you think this will work?
And technically, he has not left the PDP officially, has he?
The coalition now. Okay,
all the persons we've seen, the names we've heard, they are not saying they are not with the ADC. So you cannot put one leg in River Niger and put the other one in River Benue. You must be in one place.
Yeah, but they are looking for, to answer your question, they are looking for what the APC looked for in 2015. That's what they're looking for now.
Take over.
Can it really work?
Yeah, but
Which is the question?
yeah,
Which is the question I'm asking.
the same question was asked in
I don't see
2015.
it working.
People refer to APC as among personal
why?
carrier.
Wait, why, in your opinion, why is this time around with the ADC, what's different about that from what the APC did?
For me, at this when they came together then in the APC, we didn't see so many aspiring presidential candidates.
Okay.
Remember, at this moment, Obi is there. He's last week, I think, on national TV, he was being interviewed, and he said he's coming out for presidency.
Yeah.
We know Atiku always has an ambition to be president.
And I'm sure he doesn't want to be vice
Amechi
again.
wants to be president.
Mm-hmm.
So who is going to step down for who?
Mm-hmm.
In this
Yeah, but they'll figure out they have not.
Erofai is there. Oh.
Well, I think this coalition will have to harmonize at the end of the day, and there may not be primaries from what we're hearing, and at least Obi may not want to go into any primary. If they want to lose all the gains of this coalition, they should, not let Obi come in. I mean, the only way
Not let Obi come in.
yes,
Why?
Once they don't allow Obi to be the president candidate, all of this story about coalition will just become, it will go to pieces, because that is the holding factor. They want what Obi did to Labour Party in 2023 to happen to ADC, and that's why you're running the ADC. Once Obi, and that's Obi was quick to say, look, I just want one tenure, so that I can put this party together and go away. So, what is the coalition without P2B?
And what is the coalition without Atiku Abubakar?
No, the coalition, they didn't coalesce for Atiku Abubakar. That's my opinion. Atiku Abubakar, by the way, they like you said, this coalition is not grounded yet.
Not at all.
That is why INEC tells you that there are 129 political parties going to be registered pretty soon. So I think what is happening is that the coalition, a part of the coalition brought their goods to the table. And if they find out that it's not conducive, they move the product to another political party. And that is the Obi side of the coalition.
Just the way the ADA did not work. The ADA.
Yes.
Interesting.
So you can see the Labour Party is divided. The United Usman part of the Labour Party, the James Julius Abure part. So the United Usman is for Obi. And that's what Obi told people, I have not resigned from the Labour Party. They said
and I even hear the Abure side.
the Abure side is actually
he's saying they will hold next meeting where they will expel Obi and all of it.
But interestingly, Abure's party, the Abure faction has INEC. The Abure's name is with INEC. But the United Usman said, look, the Supreme Court has sacked Abure's faction. So we'll see how that works out. And Obi is just holding his products, waiting. There's trouble. He'll move away.
Well, one thing is showing all of this: the APC is not sleeping.
That's right.
The APC
I mean,
is not
sleep.
sleeping.
APC is not sleep.
No, they are finding it very difficult to sleep.
As a matter of fact, Nigerians will be happy if the APC doesn't get to sleep. There's no proposition.
Yes. In fact, which leads me to my next question. What does this mean? This whole everything happening. What does it mean for the political landscape of Nigeria?
I mean, it means that we're making progress in a sense. typically there are about 19 political parties in Nigeria. There are two major players, PDP and the APC. In 2023, we saw the Labour Party come in like, as a third party. Now we're hearing of the fourth one, the ADC, and there's going to be even more. I mean, just this morning, the INEC said there are about 129 or 129 applications for new political parties to be registered. So it just goes to show you that all that talk of a one-party state that we're hearing a few months ago, is probably not something for us to be worried about.
This is taking us away from being called the one state.
Yeah, exactly. The one-party state.
129 plus 18.
Plus 18, there you go. So we have enough political parties. It's just the strength of these political parties. Which is why I agree with like what they said. Like Peter Obi is the main guy. What Peter Obi did in 2023 for the Labour Party was something we've never seen before, where it was just this one individual who came and blew up the entire party in a good way, right? So if we see that happen again, if the constitution can be amended before 2027 and independent candidacy is allowed, let's believe Peter will run on his own and he doesn't need any political parties. Right? So the political parties are the structure in which you have to come through. If not, there's really no need for them. There's no need to have 130 something political parties in the country. There's no need for them. So if you're looking at like political landscape in the country, it's great and it's good that we're having this opposition and it's necessary. But just as somebody said on our program earlier this week, was that if you think about it, Tinubu was also an opposition at some point when he was in the APC. Right, and then he had excellent. In fact, this person said he had excellent points when he was in the opposition. He would always bring out like great policies and say do this and do that. And then he came into office and then he was like, well, where are all those great ideas you had when you were in the opposition? So it's very easy for the opposition to talk. It's very easy for them to come out and say this and that. But then when they get into power, are we actually going to see that? Peter will be somebody who came and said he just needs one term to show everybody.
Is he going to go back on his word?
We don't know what. Maybe he'll get there and maybe that one term will actually be great. And then maybe he'll say, look, you know what, we've done so well, let's just do one more. Or what if he goes there and even in the one term he's not able to do anything? So it's all, I don't know, it's all guesswork. And for now, the ADC has still not put out like any actual policy that they want to implement when they get into office.
So they're coming together.
I don't know why they are holding.
They're on interim administration of the ADC. Well, let's see. There has to be a national executive committee meeting before.
I mean, but for now, I mean, David Mark is up there and Arebe Sholan. Those are the two people who are heading the party. They recently had a meeting with all the states chairmen just to tell them.
Bolaji Abdullahi, the spokesperson, who actually is a very close friend of Bukola Saraki, former Senate president. So you can see that the PDP.
Yeah, the PDP is shifting, but that's another thing that you said. Like everybody's sort of one leg in, one leg out, just in case it doesn't work out. They're still going back.
So what are we saying that they're holding, membership for both parties?
Yes.
At the moment, that's what it seems like.
Peter Obi is in two parties.
And that's why in the north, some members of the ADC, I think they're in love.
They're in
love.
In love with who?
The ADC and the PDP for now.
Because a lot of the players there are in the ADC as well. So if you look at it, it's very interesting.
Well, I guess maybe that probably is happening because almost everybody is running to the APC for coverage because they're the ruling party right now, and they are the giants that they're trying to pull down.
Yeah, and they're not like Kemi said, the APC people are not sleeping. I remember on Tuesday when the likes of Senator Abdul Negi came back from the meeting, I arrived plenary late. The Senate president said, look, there are so many of you returning to this chamber. This place is noisy. Please, can you sit down? I know you're coming from the ADC meeting. So jocularly, but it's really...
It's a point to note.
It's a point to note. He said, look, there's so much noise in the chamber.
As they should be now.
Yeah. But in all of this,
he's feeling something about that.
Are we asking ourselves one thing? Now, yes, it's an agreed fact that Obi seems to be the face right now. But do you, as a Nigerian, would you trust Obi again? Again.
Why?
I mean, when he came into from PDP to Labour Party, he had all of the support. He ran, he pushed, he didn't get it. Now he's jumping to the APC.
Yes.
ADC, you mean?
ADC, sorry. What's with the jumping? Why not stay in one place and gather momentum?
No, not a few will agree that he was stopped. In fact, a lot of people.
For me, I would not want to put my cards into the basket for one person who I feel, because if he does not get it this time around, he will jump again and leave me and
but-
my ideas and ideologies and jump to another party.
But if we want to look at that, because it looks like a lot of Nigerian politics is more personality based. Buhari did the same thing.
So,
Buhari stayed put for a while and he gathered momentum.
look at it this way.
So what if Obi? I mean, his advisors should advise. Can you remain here for a while?
but he's still in the Labour Party now.
Yeah.
Understand it. Nigerian politics is not ideological. Zero.
Yeah.
So remove that
Yeah.
idea from your head. Let's start from
You
there.
can see 29
Why did he leave the PDP initially in
Yeah.
2023?
Because he could not get power.
Exactly, because there was qualms. He observed that he was gaining a lot of momentum. He had a huge following on social media. The Nigerians loved him, but the PDP was not going to make him the face. And he decided, like, look, no, I want a fighting chance. And he went to the Labour Party. He had a fighting chance. This person came third in presidential elections. And he's still with the APC now. Unfortunately, he's still with the Labour Party. Unfortunately, the Labour Party is having internal issues.
So you know that
Right.
Labour Party, when he was in Labour Party, he even NLC supported. And you know what? When NLC is involved, you know how it goes. But who is supporting ADC right now? Who?
Everybody is supporting ADC.
so-
I don't understand. I don't understand.
You can separate the parties from the individuals.
From the
Exactly.
individual.
Which is why I
doing-
said Nigerian politics is more
He's looking for a platform.
personality based.
He thinks he's good and he's looking for a platform.
Yeah,
And of course, people will try to remove that platform and make it difficult for you. So it'll be okay by some people. So he needs a platform. So if he goes to 5 different political parties, all he wants is that platform to deliver
So
good
come on,
governance.
yeah, best believe that if today the constitutional
Because if
amendment
you
is
look at President
completed
Muhammad Buhari,
and
he moved
independent
from
candidates is
several
allowed, he will
political
run on
parties.
his own.
Come to think of
2027.
it.
Best
And you
believe.
think he can pull it?
If Peter Obi runs as an independent
yes,
candidate?
in
I know,
Nigeria.
if he was
In
able-
Nigeria.
Absolutely, why?
Without
No, it's not
political
impossible.
structure.
Let's go
If
there, let's go
he
there.
moved the
If
party from
independent
I
candidates
would
were
want to
allowed.
witness that.
no, if he moved the
Yes.
party from position 18 to number 3. In fact, some people,
Yeah.
I tell you,
One
also,
individual.
some people will tell you without fear of contradiction, he will be won the 2023 election.
Election.
And he won in Lagos, the home state of Mr. President. And he
But you know, incumbent presidents don't usually win their
Well,
home states, the
well,
FCT.
Tinubu was not the incumbent at the time.
so
No, whether it's Tinubu, whether it's Buhari, whether it's Jonathan, it's like a norm.
Yeah.
The FCT and perhaps
You can
your
say
home
that
states.
for everybody
He
else.
won- he won in
but
the
when
FCT.
it comes to Lagos State, this is a state that Tinubu has, depending on who you're talking to, has basically run from
For
the shadows
years.
since 1999. I'm not joking.
See, man.
And he's exactly and he's still running it.
And
So
he is-
how Peter Obi
and
won
he
that
is-
state?
yeah.
That's scary if you think about it. This is a state. I mean,
and
they don't call him Jagaban for
don't
nothing.
forget what El-Rufai said. El-Rufai said, we know Peter Obi won. But it's because he's an able man. El-Rufai said this.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. So I was quoting El-Rufai. Yeah, no, he said it. He said, I knew he won. But because I didn't say anything.
Yes.
But this time around, I'll say something.
Yeah.
So they know why they are cutting El-Rufai. It's the bride.
I mean, no, I think
I
Peter
mean,
Obi
they
has
are
a-
cutting Obi. He is the bride.
I think he has a
He
formidable
brings substance to
following.
the table.
As the day
But
goes
I
by,
understand
we'll
what
see.
Kemi is saying. The normal Nigerian.
I mean,
you know,
I think ideally it shouldn't be that way. Typically,
Yeah.
these political parties should run on ideological stances, right? That way, we won't even see as many defections and things that we're seeing right now.
That's what the Second Republic. Don't expect that
in a
again.
good world, in all things being
But we've
equal.
established that we don't run ideas.
Yeah, but we're
No,
not doing that right now. It's
That
basically
happened in the Second
personality
Republic.
contest.
When the likes of
But
But
with what you're saying,
individuals.
Kemi, do you honestly believe that if Peter Obi stayed in the Labour Party, he had a fighting chance in 2027?
For me, yes.
I don't think so. With
For me,
everything
yes.
going on in the party, I think Nigerians have lost confidence in the
Yeah.
party.
If as a presidential candidate, he went back or he goes back to say, okay, fine.
It's still in the Labour Party. It's still there.
Let's shield our swords, guys. Let's get down on a round table. What are you not down with? What am I not down with? Can we put pluses and minuses? Can we get this body?
But he
working
has not left the
again
Labour
as-
Party, Kemi, just to correct you. You know that the Labour Party has joined the coalition as Labour Party, part of the coalition, and it's called ADC.
Okay.
So Peter Obi is still the
I
Labour
think
Party.
the main
Now, what you're saying is that is he a member of the Abure-led faction of the Labour Party
or
the
That's what I'm
United
saying.
Suman?
If
And
I
that's-
were Obi at this moment,
Yes.
I would call the
truth, right?
Yes.
But
I think he made that effort.
But if it's someone that the National Labour Party is
Yeah.
being sponsored by the APC,
This is the same
only to
faction that
forget
says they
your
want to
ambition.
kick him
Will you
out.
do that?
Look, I think what we should really be concerned about, what we should even be discussing, is who is going to come up as the presidential candidate
Of the
for
ADC.
ADC.
Because
And
that is where the whole thing could
That
either
is where the
blossom
table
or
will
fall
scatter.
apart.
And
Yeah,
that is
so-
where we will leave we'll leave that to you, for you to hit us up. What do you think? Who in your opinion should be the primary candidate for the ADC? Okay, so let's jump real quickly to a very recent development from the Senate, talking about the removal of Senator Natasha Akpoti as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organization. Now, this announcement was made a few days ago during plenary, and there was no official reason that was publicly given as to why this decision was made. And many people believe that it is connected to her suspension. So one of the questions I have is, what are the implications of this removal for diaspora affairs and parliamentary oversight?
I don't think there's any implication. There's somebody else that's taking over the committee. I think
Somebody
I
else
think this
is
is one of
filling
those
the gap.
things that were just hyped
And it's
up.
just like the job is that of Mr. President of the Senate. It gives you, you can sack
Exactly,
you.
and
So
you can take
it's
it.
not-
Yeah,
they are
let's
going
not
to do
forget
the
this person
Constitution.
has been on suspension and is still on suspension
Yeah.
for the
So,
past 5 months.
so for the past months she's been on suspension.
Yeah,
that means
the
the
committee has been in
couldn't
flux.
do anything. So
I-
instead of leaving it fallow, why
I
not
think
leave
the
it out?
implication, like she is saying, is that the body, it now tells us the body language of the Senate. They really are not happy that this, for now, the representative of Akpoti has not apologized. We have not seen, even those who follow her on social media said, look, they've not seen anything as ordered by the court.
Yes.
Those apologies have not
Yes.
been made in the national newspapers
And on her social media
on the social
platform.
media platform. And it expired yesterday, the 7 days given by the court.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's not going to end anytime soon. And if I don't think it will happen before the Senate embarks on recess in a couple of days from now. The Senate, National Assembly will be back on recess. So we're not likely to see her back
But,
until September.
If the court said the suspension was too aggressive,
Yes.
doesn't it behold on the Senate to record?
No, they say the courts are not like you and I here on podcast. Yes, the court says the suspension was too harsh. It didn't say reinstate her. Yes, but the language is important in the court.
Yeah.
It was too harsh,
Because if they were going to reinstate her, probably there would have been a time.
and the court couldn't have said reinstate her because what happened while she was suspended was what happened within
Within the Senate.
in the Senate, in the chambers.
And because they are separate
So-
arms.
Mutalayako, the judge knows that, well, it's just that this suspension is too harsh now.
So, the whole thing we had now is based on technicality.
Yeah.
Because when it was rumored that she was going to resume earlier in the week, the National Assembly had a statement saying that look, they've still not gotten any certified true copy from the court, saying that just to as a sort of stamp on the ruling that was made. The court didn't make any statement. The court didn't say, "Oh, you get it in a few days."
And she hurriedly made an announcement that she was
made the
returning.
announcement that she was returning, and everybody thought, okay, there's going to be
Yeah, and
drama
then,
in the National Assembly on Thursday.
she made an
And
announcement.
she didn't show up. Obviously, she didn't show up, but it just shows you that the whole thing is based on technicality. The actual statement that we have from the court, the actionable statement was pay the sum of 5 million naira and make an apology. Both those things we didn't see from her. So, most likely until after the recess.
And if the Senate wants to be cheeky, the National Assembly Senate wants to be cheeky, they can appeal, they can say, look, this ruling by the court, we don't like it.
Yeah.
Go for another ruling. Because it's the court of first instance.
Yeah, yeah.
So by that, they can extend the
They
stay.
can, yeah.
But even though the ruling seems to be in their favor, they can say, no, this ruling is not in our favor, we'll just extend it. So Natasha Akpoti is in for a long time. As-
But what
But
does
in all of it, she's not lying low.
Yes, no, last time
yeah,
we saw her
yeah.
dancing to Timaya's
She's not-
"It Will Depend Them with the Sweet You" on social media. So she's a social media person.
So, but what does this ongoing reshuffle tell us about the power dynamics in the Senate?
It shows how powerful the principal officer is. Natasha, like she was told point blank by the Senate leader, is fighting the Senate, and by fighting the extension of the National Assembly. So it's Natasha versus not Natasha versus Akpoti.
Akpoti.
And in fact, they are saying to a point where we can now say it's Natasha versus the federal government of Nigeria, because the federal government has weathered it, because the office is what matters. It's not about the man who sits there. Akpoti since 1999 should be about the fifth or sixth. This is a night senate, night session. So they are talking about the office, and in a patriarchal society like ours, I think such matters like that of Natasha needs real serious advice, because you're in a place where some people in that chamber feel, look, why should a woman be in this place for the first time? Yes. If you understand that politics, you will be able to survive. Some people look at you there and say, look, you shouldn't be here. So all of that.
I mean, the whole thing started very strong. Obviously, remember in March when she made her now legendary appearance on Arise TV and made the claims that she made. But then since then, it just sort of snowballed into
the satirical statement she posted on her social media.
It has spread into a lot of things. We basically saw her do a global press run.
But that was why the court
where she went on CNN, on
BBC,
BBC, on Al Jazeera. She basically went there. She had a feature on the New York Times where she did the whole photo shoot and had a whole spread of her talking about this whole thing. So, I mean, obviously, she came out and said what she said allegedly and all that. But a lot of Nigerians now still strongly feel as though there could have been better ways to go about it.
But what is the better way, if I may ask?
I don't know. Unfortunately, I wish I knew. Maybe we can even say, okay, maybe she started off well. But the press run, I think we can all agree that was completely unnecessary, right? Doing the global press run and all of that. People in Nigeria know what's happening. Let's not forget that they were international observers from the House of Commons in the UK in the National Assembly the day that drama happened. So you can't say that they weren't aware. They were aware and they took notes, and these things are going to be in the records in the House of Commons in the UK forever.
Okay. All right. We'll leave the rest of the conversation for those of you in the comment section. Finally, now let's pivot to a topic that has sent ripples across borders right now, talking about the recent change in the US-Nigeria visa restriction that happened just a few days ago. Now, the US Department of State announced a significant shift. They are reducing the validity of most non-immigrant visas for Nigeria from 5 years to a mere 3 months. Yes, you heard me, 3 months. And they're limiting them to single entry. 3 months, single entry. This policy change has sparked considerable debate and concerns. So one of the questions I have is, what are the immediate and long-term implications of the new visa policy for Nigerians who are seeking things like education, business, or tourism in the US?
I mean, it's a major hit, obviously, but the federal government is still going back and forth concerning it. They've not fully, accepted this. And we learned this morning that there's actually there's more to it.
Yes, the Venezuelan.
Exactly. So before we even get to that, this is supposed to be a reciprocal thing that is being done by the US, but there seems to be some kind of misunderstanding. It's being done because from the US Embassy believes that Nigeria started this first, started giving 3 months single entry visas to US non-immigrant citizens. But actually, the truth is they're not doing that. They're doing that when it comes to e-visas and not people who are actually applying for visas directly from the embassies going through the whole process. Now, if you're going through the whole process, you get your 5 years or however long you want with multiple entries. But if you're applying online, which is an easier, straightforward, seamless process for Americans who are trying to come to Nigeria, the e-visa specifically, they get 3 months single entry to Nigeria. And that is what the US took and said now they're going to make that as law across the board. Which, the Nigerian government is saying, look, we don't like this. There's been a misunderstanding here. This is not what we're doing across the board for you, so you can't say you're going to do that across the board for us. And then obviously, the Minister of
Foreign Affairs.
Thank you, Foreign Affairs. Tugar came up and said, we saw that in the headlines this morning, where he said, actually, what happened is the U.S. government wanted to drop off, Venezuelan deportees, in Nigeria. And
straight from prison.
Yeah, and Nigeria said, no, we're not going to accept that. But again, there shouldn't be any surprise here because this was Donald Trump's entire political mandate. This is what he campaigned on, right? That he's going to stop letting black people into his country, that he's going to kick out immigrants, is going to sanitize the country, and this is exactly what he's doing. I think the back and forth now should be in terms of how this affects trade. I think that should be the major concern, because already there are tariffs that we're going back and forth on, right? So there's tariffs, now there's visa, and I mean, the US keeps coming up with new
reasons. I think they're joining the BRICS. The BRICS was also another issue.
Again, you have to understand that, and we spoke about this at length on our program, that, you know, let's think of this from a trade perspective and business-wise. Donald Trump is a business person, and the BRICS obviously are a group of countries who are trying to become independent, and they're aligning themselves with countries that are, you can say, rivals to the United States of America. So it only makes sense that President Donald Trump will sort of take that personally.
Let's note that Nigeria is actually not a member of BRICS yet.
Yeah.
We're just like partner.
But we're aligning to them.
Yes. And experts have said for countries like ours, for a continent like Africa that is seeking to grow, that is seeking trade, please don't befriend just one person. So in all of this bilateral back and forth, I would urge, let's look for an amicable resolution to all of this. Yes, we are dealing with almighty Donald Trump, but then, be friends, still be friends with the US, still be friends with China, still be friends with whoever you want to be friends with, particularly because of trade. Yes, the pressure of geopolitics is real, is here with us, but then in all of it, there are still opportunities for trade in all of it.
I mean, so yes, and let me come in here. It's tricky aligning yourself, especially if you're one of the African countries, because with what is going on globally today, right? Geopolitics is so flaky. The US is still the strongest country in the world. The dollar is still what we're
and
all.
If you want to oppress any emerging.
No. But let me explain. And not just that, the US now is in a very tricky position. The US is not exactly chummy with China, right? And now, what are the major countries in the world that are out there strongly supporting developing countries? There are three major ones. There's China. China is a big dog. There's the US. And then there's Russia, who we all like to pretend like they're not, right? So you either align yourself with one of these three. Either align yourself with China, you align yourself with Russia, or you align yourself with the US. Now, guess what? The US doesn't like China or Russia. They particularly really don't like Russia, right? So if you are aligning yourself with Russia, already Donald Trump looks at you sideways. And if you're aligning yourself with China, he's still not very excited about that, because as far as he's concerned, you're aligning with people who are not his allies.
Donald Trump will not be president forever.
Yes, he won't.
But
True.
America calls the shots. And I'm looking at the diplomatic side of this.
Yes.
It is a huge loss for Nigeria. And what is happening is a reflection of how America sees Nigeria.
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine excluding Nigeria from those he met. I mean, Trump met last week.
But those countries he even met, I mean.
You think that it's just to tell you.
If you talk about economy in Africa,
he's telling you. You think you're big, you're going to stay home. So
he chooses who he wants to play with.
It's a big diplomatic loss for Nigeria, and I think there's also enormous work for Toga and Mrs. Ojukwu. These are sound diplomats. We should do more. The exclusion of Nigeria from that meeting. A week after we attended BRICS, and like you said, we're not a member of BRICS. And even if we join BRICS and add N to BRICS, how will it sound? It will not sound well, because your name has to come. They will look for N-O or O-N.
Donald Trump is the same person who, during his first term, put Nigeria on a watch list of countries that are not allowed to come into the US, along with
Donald
a
Trump
list of other countries.
Is just a
sorry
to use the word, like a bitter president.
And
let's take
some people have referred to him as the big bully, but that is
the big bully.
But that is what the most we can take right now. It brings us to the end of another thought-provoking episode here on Pod of View. Today we pulled back the curtain on intriguing political realignments, looking at the ADC party. We also delved into the significant news of Senator Natasha being removed as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora, and also explored the potential reasons for, the recent US-Nigeria visa restriction. But we would like to hear from you. These conversations are things that affect all of us. We'd like to hear from you. did you find this conversation, valuable? Then please subscribe. But don't forget, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, and remember that you hit the little bell by the side for notifications so that you catch every video that we post here. Thank you so much, guys, for, being part of the conversation and, giving us, a pushbacks and everything.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate you.
you
That's
very
all we
much.
can take. Thank you for tuning in here on Pod of View. Stay engaged and keep those thoughtful conversations going on in the comment section. And if there is a time, next episode, we will respond to your comments. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.
Bye.